The ancient Dutch hospital at the Gale Fort in Sri Lanka, which is a World Heritage Site, has been modernized and declared open as a luxury shopping complex. The function was held under the Rajapaksa. This is one of the projects in the process of developing the city of Gale as a tourist destination. The project was implemented under the supervision of the Secretary to the Ministry of Defense and the Urban Development Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The President presented awards and certificates to those who made major contributions towards construction of the supermarket complex. The President exchanged pleasantries with traders at the supermarket complex. Several parliamentarians and ministers, Secretary to the President Lalit Wiratunga, Defense and Urban Development Ministry Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and Chief of the President's Staff Gamini Sedara Senarat also participated at the opening ceremony. The building, which was constructed during the Dutch regime, had been used as a hospital then. Later, it was used as the Gale Kacheri and a government office. But now the dilapidated building has been transformed into a luxury shopping complex. Russia has opened a new airport on Itorofu Island, one of the 4 Russian-held islands that Japan claims off Japan's northernmost prefecture of Hokkaido. Sakhalin Regional Governor Alexander Koroshavin and officials attended the opening ceremony recently. The Russian government began building the new airport as a national project in 2007. It will be used for both civilian and military aviation. Russian officials say regular flights are planned to the Russian Far East cities of Khabarovsk and Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk. The new airport will connect the island and the Russian mainland directly and will also handle military transport aircraft. Japan is concerned about a possible military buildup on the island. Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga said this in Tokyo recently. He said Japan cannot stop Russia's infrastructure projects as the country occupies the 4 islands. He said Japan will tenaciously negotiate with Russia to seek measures acceptable to both countries for a fundamental settlement of the territorial issue. People dressed as yokai, or Japanese monsters, from yokai comic books performed at the annual yokai lookalike competition held in Sakai Minato City in Tottori Prefecture. Yokai are traditional folklore spirits and monsters originally drawn in ancient picture scrolls and ukiyo e-prints. They've become an integral part of the modern-day manga industry. Popular yokai manga artist Shigeru Mizuki was born in Sakai Minato. Participants competed on stage, singing songs and dancing. Daisuke Koike won the competition disguised as salaryman Yamada. He said he never expected to win. He tried to mimic even the character's smallest moves. Video game fans at the Tokyo Game Show are eyeing the latest virtual reality games. The 4-day game show was opened in Chiba, east of Tokyo. 421 exhibitors from 32 countries and territories are taking part. The show is open to the public on weekends. Games with wearable Google-type devices to recreate a virtual world are attracting widespread attention. A Facebook affiliate exhibited one that makes gamers feel as if they are actually fighting enemies in outer space. South Korea's Samsung also showcased a Google-type display device that its smartphones attach to. An official of one game maker says the latest devices offer a totally different experience for gamers and that virtual reality is likely to be the game industry's next trend. A university in Taiwan has opened a research center to study the works of Japanese author Haruki Murakami. Officials at Tamkang University attended the opening ceremony on Monday in New Taipei. Researchers at the center will compare how different countries analyze Murakami's works from sociological and psychological perspectives. Murakami's writings began gaining popularity in Taiwan in the 1980s, especially among young people. There is a cafe in Taipei named after one of his novels. An increasing number of university students in Taiwan have chosen Murakami's works for their graduation thesis. A 5,000 square meter paddy painting was completed in East China's Shanghai recently. Farmers in Shanghai's suburban Jinshan district created the painting of Dragon Dance with rice of different colors. They began to grow the paddy in late April, and the painting gradually took form during the late 5 months. Now people can appreciate the finished work. A resident said viewing the painting from a high place, one can see a huge Dragon Dance painting. It is amazing and beautiful. Farmer painters in Jinshan district are famous for their paintings of colorful scenes of country life. With simple subjects rendered in bold colors, these beautiful works of art have gained the name of Jinshan farmer painting. Often given as diplomatic gifts, Jinshan farmer paintings have been exhibited around the world in more than 17 countries and regions. The world's first surviving set of panda triplets opened their eyes for the first time last week, 50 days after their birth. The rare set of giant panda triplets were born at Guangzhou's Chimelong Safari Park on July 29th. They are currently in healthy condition after being taken care of for 50 days. The keeper at the safari park said panda cubs normally open their eyes 45 days after birth, and extra care should be given to their eyes. Dong Guisin, general manager of the Chimelong Safari Park, said they need to take extra care of the panda's eyes to watch the panda cubs and try not to touch their eyes. The zoo has received over 600,000 suggested names since it started to collect candidate names for the cubs from people around the world on August 28th. The names will be announced next month, said animal keeper at the zoo. Giant panda Ju Xiao gave birth to the 3 panda cubs, 1 female and 2 male, after 4 hours of labor. The cubs are the 4th set of triplets known to have been born in the last 4 decades. In 1967, when the first set of triplets were born, none survived. In 1999 and 2003, only 1 survived from each birth. A female giant panda baby was born last week at a wild animal center in Xi'an, capital city of northwest China's Shanxi province. Zhao Pengpeng, deputy director of the veterinary hospital with the Endangered Wild Animal Rescue and Breeding Center, said it's a female weighing 104.1 grams. The whole birth process went smoothly, and her mother, Yalauda, is also in good condition. The keepers keep themselves busy, working around with a close watch on the newborn to ensure its safety. The newborn is now pink, with eyes tightly shut. About 1 week later, black patches will appear on her skin around the eyes, and black hair will then grow. The keeper said about a month later, she will grow into a miniature panda like her mother, but with a long tail. A drunken man tries to enter the password for his door lock, but each time it turns out to be wrong. The facial expressions of this man keep changing constantly. One moment he's smiling, and then suddenly turns angry and starts crying. All of these movies presented at a film festival last only 6 seconds. But despite their short running time, they send strong messages. Li Ung, an audience, said a 6-second movie ends in an instant. Its message is crystal clear. That's why they're trying to communicate. These days, it's not just movies that are getting shorter. This 5-second TV commercial features an elderly man selling puffed rice, has him shout only 1 word and smiling by the end. The commercial is just a third of the length of a regular TV ad. 5 seconds is certainly not enough to tell a story, but the clear and concise message sounds convincing enough. Ji Seung-yong, an advertisement planner, says if you don't manage to send a clear message in a short period of time, viewers will just watch something else because there's so much to see these days. Most of the current video service providers permit their users to post videos lasting less than 30 seconds. And some film production companies are even planning to produce movies lasting only 1 second. In this fast-paced world, it takes just a few seconds to grab the viewer's attention and keep them interested. The changing color of the mountains and trees is the absolute key spectacle of the fall season. The fall foliage this year is forecast to arrive a bit later than usual, but the colors are expected to be even more beautiful. The top of Seorak Mountain has begun to display the colors of fall. The trees that have already turned red and orange are a pleasant surprise to hikers. An Sunja, a visitor, says she didn't expect to see this. The foliage is so pretty. The sight of it makes her really thrilled. Recent morning temperatures have gone down to 5 degrees Celsius at the top of Siorak Mountain. This marks the start to fall foliage. However, the spreading of foliage has been forecast to be slower than usual. Park Seong-chan, an official of Korea Meteorological Administration, says temperatures this month are forecast to be similar or higher than average compared to previous years. Therefore, the first foliage is expected 1 to 4 days later than the usual date this year. The first round of foliage, which accounts for 20% of trees changing color on Siorak Mountain, takes place around September 28th. Odae and Jiri Mountains foliage will begin early next month, and Bukhan and Neijing Mountain will experience this mid-October. Despite the late start this year, colors are expected to be brighter than before. Leaves turn a reddish hue due to a substance called anthocyanin. As temperatures plunge overnight, anthocyanin is produced as more sugar is accumulated by the leaves. Due to the wide differences in daily temperatures this fall, leaves are expected to showcase even more vibrant colors. Fall foliage reaches its climax about 2 weeks after color changes begin. So by late October, mountains and landscapes in Korea will be in full thrall with these spectacular shades. Although rice consumption is on the decline, rice varieties with higher nutritional values are growing in popularity. They are generally 2 to 3 times pricier than ordinary ones, but land area dedicated to their cultivation has roughly tripled over the past 5 years. The rice in this field is ready for harvest. The germs of the rice variety grown here are much larger than those of the ordinary types. Since it became known that rice germs contain more nutrients, a food company commissioned this farm to cultivate the improved rice variety last year. A team of scientists at Seoul National University succeeded in using genetic modification to develop a new rice variety with rice germs 3 times larger than that of the ordinary varieties. Professor Ko Hui-jong of Seoul National University says rice germs are rich in vitamins, especially in tocopherol and the vitamin B group. Even when polished, the germs stay intact in the improved rice. It's not surprising that the makers of ready-to-eat rice products are showing keen interest in it. Kim Tae-hyung, a researcher, Food Company Lab, says commercialization is difficult because all the rice germs would be removed during processing. But the germs of the newly developed varieties stay put because they are deeply embedded. This black rice variety contains more than double the anthocyanin in blueberries. Anthocyanin is an antioxidant that supposedly slows down aging. In clinical animal testing, the black rice was found to be quite effective in treating diabetes and atopic dermatitis. The research team has recently signed deals with 2 food companies to market the rice. Professor Ryu Soo-no of the Korea National Open University says these rice varieties have transcended our existing concept of rice. They are something extra and now have stronger global competitiveness. Korean rice farmers are facing twice the number of challenges with falling demand and market liberalization, but they are finding new hope in these improved rice varieties.